Hey guys, it's me Saul. I'm back again, and I've got a bit of a controversial thing to bring up with you, right? Like, I don't want to sound like some kind of pessimist to rain on everybody's parade now that Supernova has been confirmed, but I just don't understand the idea of SpaceGodzilla being in the movie. I don't get it. Think about it. In the original series, in the Heisei series, SpaceGodzilla was originally spores from Biolante that they flew off into space, went into a black hole, absorbed various like black holes and crystal energy, came out of a white hole, and boom, we have SpaceGodzilla. So I guess SpaceGodzilla is technically Biolante, which would also make SpaceGodzilla a woman, but now is not the time for this. So there has been nothing like that ever shown in the Monsterverse. There's been, besides Ghidorah, there has been nothing alien related at all. And Godzilla has nothing to do with space in the Monsterverse. He's all, Earth, Hollow Earth, a bit, all terrestrial, right? So where the hell is SpaceGodzilla gonna come from, right? Like we've got all these crystals in the Hollow Earth, which sure that is some evidence that makes sense, but none of the other stuff makes sense, right? Crystals, sure, that's barely any piece of evidence to suggest SpaceGodzilla. And there's nothing else. Godzilla's never had anything to do with space, so where's SpaceGodzilla gonna come from, right? How the hell are we gonna get a space? How the hell are we gonna get a SpaceGodzilla? There's two ways I can see this going down, right? Assuming that this is SpaceGodzilla. A, he's just gonna come from space. He's a spacefaring alien titan. But he just so happens to look like Godzilla. He has no actual relation to Godzilla. He just so happens to look like one, because how the hell would there be Godzilla creatures in space? So it's just like a coincidence. Right, looking at that, we also have to look at this from a general audience perspective. As fun as it is to look at it from the perspective of a fan, we also have to look at it from the general audience view. They will laugh that shit out of the building if that's the case. Oh, and remember what we did with, remember the Beast Glove? Remember when everybody was complaining, there just so happens to be a prototype glove in the destroyed outpost at the beginning of the New Empire that also just so happens to cure frostbite and makes Kong stronger. People laughed that out of, people effectively, without beating around the bush, they didn't like that, right? Most audiences, they didn't like that. So imagine what they're going to think about a giant crystalline alien Godzilla from space, but he just so happens to look like Godzilla without any real relation. Nobody's going to like that. Secondly, we have the idea of him coming from the Hollow Earth. He's from the Hollow Earth. He created all these crystals. Well, then he's not Space Godzilla, is he? He'd be Hollow Earth Godzilla. And just in case you forgot, that's just Shimo. We already have effectively a crystalline Godzilla-looking creature. We have Shimo. So really, at the moment, there's nothing. There's really nothing, when you boil it down, to suggest Space Godzilla. So... But however, I also want to preface, if it is SpaceGodzilla, I won't be upset. I'll love the fact that we finally get SpaceGodzilla after over 30 years of him not being in a movie. But it's just, when you really boil it down, look at all the evidence, it just doesn't sit right with me. It doesn't sit right with me. I don't trust it. I don't trust it. I think, in fact, I'll give my own idea as to what's going to happen in Supernova. Now, obviously, a supernova is the death of a star, right? A long, large big death of a star. What is Godzilla's title in the Monsterverse, besides King of the Monsters? The Monster Who Ate a Star. Monster Who Ate a Star. Supernova is the death of a star. We might, emphasis on the might here, might be witnessing the death of Godzilla in this next movie. And okay, to be honest, I'd rather have Space Godzilla than have Godzilla die. I'd rather have Space Godzilla, to be honest. Alright, but as for the villain, I really got nothing. I have suggested before, because if you've read my community posts, I have been in Devon Lee's Discord server. I suggested there at one point that it could be Destroyer, because the main glowing light in the center of Supernova, in the R, it kind of looks like the eye of Destroyer, and how we could be seeing Destroyer. Yeah, nobody really took that well. They didn't like that. They didn't like that part at all. So yeah, I mean, I don't give a shit. I think it's still Destroyer. Who cares? I might make a part 2 video to this, actually. So yeah, that's really all that I have to say on the matter. I genuinely hope it's not Space Godzilla, but I still wouldn't be mad if it was, at the end of the day. So, I'll see you guys later.